Hi, I'm B Jasmine Paints, but you guys can just call me B. This is my journey into 3D printing and the goods and bads and the rights and wrongs and everything that's happened so far. Enjoy. I know it's been a while since I posted on YouTube after saying that I was going to start my YouTube journey. But here we are, finally with a second video. I did film this video back in June. So what happened was, filmed a lovely little video about 3D printing and just realised I didn't actually say the things I needed to say, or I didn't really explain anything very well. But it's things like I didn't even tell you what printer I had. I don't really know what I think I was just so excited because I got a 3D printer. And then when I did talk about stuff, I kind of just ranted about how bad my 3D printing journey was. I found that clip where I was having like a meltdown. My print has 32 minutes left. I've just looked behind me and had a look at it. I think I'm going to cry if it fails. I think I'm like, everyone was like, oh, you're going to get so stressed out and you're going to pull your hair out doing this. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am really stressed out. Every time I print, I have this little thing where I'm like, it's going to fail. Literally going to fail. It's not going to work. Don't get your hopes up. Don't get your dreams up of having what you think you're going to print because you're not going to have it. Like an existential dread. Like it's so exciting printing something, but then you also have this like, please print well, please work. So yeah, I'm going to actually talk to you properly about this today, and this should be a more cohesive video. So we're going to start with what 3D printer I got. I got the Elegoo, I hope I've said that right, Saturn 4 Ultra. I'd spent a while looking at 3D printers. When I say a while, maybe 2 weeks. That's a while for me. And I was looking at a couple. I can't remember the other brand I was tying between getting. And this one was the one that I saw the most people talk about on YouTube and review. And I'd watched a couple of people, I'll have to link some of the names for you, who did like comparison reviews of 3D printers and kind of which ones are suitable for new to the hobby that is 3D printing, and which one to get if you are more like you've done this before. So this one for me came up as one that seemed like an easy to go with one, as I wanted the least stress kind of click and print printer. I didn't want to have to mess with too many functions myself, and I wanted it to kind of auto do a lot of things because I don't know what I'm doing. To go with this, I also got the Mercury version 3 washing and curing station to obviously clean and cure minis. I got a heater. Completely irrelevant, by the way, as the temperature in there kind of heats to itself. I'm hoping it'll become more useful in the winter, but currently kind of an irrelevant thing that I got to go with it as well. This video is for people like me who woke up one day and decided they wanted a 3D printer, or people who have no idea what it is, what to do, where to go with it, how to start. This video will not be for people who are good at 3D printing unless you want to have a laugh. That's what you will find funny. But like, generally, this is for people starting a 3D printing journey with little to no knowledge, because that's how I started mine. One of the things I do want to talk to you about is, before you get your 3D printer, think about where it's going to go. Yeah, that's something I didn't do. So I live in a flat. This flat is small-ish. Windows and lighting is an odd thing. So 3D printing, you need good ventilation and you need it to be dark. I can have these things, but not together. So in the room that we're currently in, which is my like officey space, there is a window right down the end. You probably see light coming in. And it is down like a narrow corridor bit. So that would be my ventilation. Problem with that is that's the lightest point of the room. So that didn't work too well. I then wanted it in the corner of this room. I've got like a little alcove corner bit here, which would have been nice and dark, and it would have really worked with my 3D printer. Problem is, literally no ventilation in this room. That window doesn't open fully because I do live in a flat and they don't let you fully open your windows for safety reasons. So the ventilation thing didn't work. I'll show you where I have put it, and I know a lot of you are going to be like, that's a shit idea to have it there. Sorry, that's the only place I could put it. Mine is currently by my balcony door because it gets the most ventilation. So the resin fumes and any other fumes go out that window. Problem with that is it is directly in sunlight. So when I first started printing, one of the issues I had was all my minis were printing weird. And I realized the sun was getting through the little filter on the 3D printer, curing my minis as they were printing, I think. So that became a problem. I've solved this now, and some of you are going to be like, oh my God, B, that's a massive fire hazard. It's fine. I'm always home when I print. I keep an eye on it. I check on it constantly. Got a little camera inside. I am always looking at it. It's fine. But I cover it with blankets. And it does affect, I will say, it does affect the temperature. Like the temperature goes to crazy temperatures sometimes, especially if it's like warm outside and I print and then I'm putting all these like dark blankets over it to stop the light. It does get really warm. I am thinking of creating a cardboard barrier idea, which is like basically a cardboard box that will go over the top of it to block light. So there is a plan coming. But this is something to think about when buying a 3D printer. I feel like I need to talk to you about why I got a 3D printer, because I could hear people literally screaming through my DMs, B, what on earth do you need a 3D printer for? And yeah, no, I get that. I've mentioned wanting a 3D printer before, like years ago, I think. I think I jokingly said, I want a 3D printer. And a few people went to me, what the why? What do you need that for? So I'm going to talk to you about why I got one. Yes, part of me did do that thing where I was like, I want a 3D printer. For no reason, just want one. So yeah, that's true. That did happen. But I'm going to give you the good reasons for why I wanted one. Firstly, I wanted to print cute little things. Yeah. I wanted to print tiny little adorable minis. So that was part of it. Secondly, and this is probably a couple of people's reasons for getting 3D printers, I really wanted to print Trench Crusade minis, like really badly. Although I still haven't done that yet, but that's what I wanted to do. That was one of the goals. I'd also not long come back from UK Games Expo. And really, really wanted to print Comet Lord miniatures as well. They're very like spooky boys. Some of you may have seen me spoke about the pyramid head looking guy that I wanted. So there you go. It was print my minis for that reason as well. One of the other reasons was obviously my way of painting, creating, inventing. I don't know. My way of doing Warhammer is very kit bashed. Is that the word? Even kit bashing at this point. I don't really know. I'm trying to see if I can find something so I can explain my thing. Right, okay. Good. We've got a good example. Like my little Call the Lamb guy. Cape. 3D printed. Little candles, 3D printed. By the way, these not me 3D printed. Dragoon, actually, they're from them. But I would have 3D printed them. Is the concept I'm getting at here. The little hat and the horns, I 3D printed. So little things like that for when I want to make my weird little characters. So I thought that would just make it easier. And then one of the final reasons is I'm gonna sound really like I don't want to sound up my own ass, so I apologize. My commissions are taken off, which thank you very much. I very much appreciate. If you're waiting to hear back from me, I promise I will get to you. I've had a lot more than I was expecting, and I am working on it. Just admin's not my thing, and I'm trying. I'm really, really trying. So I will get round to it. But the 3D printer came in handy for that part as well, because I've had a few commission forms for the same things. So like Link, Legend of Zelda, very, very popular. I stole Link's hat from Gloomspite bits that I had, but I only had one that looked like that. So trying to remake Link's hat would mean that I would have to green stuff it or like model and sculpt it myself. And I'd have to do many of them. That's quite a bit to do. Also, I've noticed a lot of my minis that I make have swords, and a lot of the Space Marine boxes I buy don't have swords. Very simple. I just needed more of that, and it was easier to print them than to go through a lot of boxes. Like in the last Space Marine box, I bought 2 swords in there for the 10 minis. It just like the math isn't mathing, you know? And in my brain, girl math, I thought the 3D printer worked out financially better in the long run. Girl math. Yeah. So when I had ordered my 3D printer, I then did this thing for like the week or so that it was taking to be delivered, where I was like, cool, done, buzzing, can't do anything until it turns up. Wrong. Wrong, wrong, wrong. This is the time that you watch YouTube videos and you look into the software. So I've got it up here so you guys can see it. I use Box. That's what it's called. I know there's some other ones, like the slicing software. I wish I had spent more time like looking into that software and like having a play with it, because one of the big mess ups I did when I first started was heavy supporting everything. Like these, can you see like that's buried in there? That's now not coming off. I also did a really stupid. These were like my first things that I printed. These came off the build plate, lovely, all printed. They were really hard to get off, and I couldn't get the supports off. And then I was like, oh my god, I'm doing this all wrong. So what I did was like this, washed it, cured it, then was like, that's how I get them off. No, because I cured the supports on. Like, they don't come off now. They've been cured. So don't do that. But now I just like support everything, which is a lot easier. I also have just been playing around with the settings on my side to get it so that it prints for my printer and prints how I want it to print. I found one of my issues was that nothing was sticking to the build plate. So I made it so my initial layers were more, and now everything sticks. Little things like that, which I just didn't know were a thing. And I wish I just looked into that. I wish I'd just done a little more research. So I do recommend, if you are looking at getting one and you don't know too much about them, just try do more research than I did, because I was impatient and just didn't look into anything apparently. So definitely do that. As for like my 3D printing journey now, so these are some bits printed last night. It's going so much better. It's been 2 months, so it's been kind of a time jump. But this is where I'm at now. So like yesterday, this is maybe a sneak peek for something that I don't know if by the time I post this I will have done yet. I printed like a little Master Chief skull and a little energy sword so that I can make a little Master Chief Space Marine. Yeah, like I'm just getting better with the printing stuff now, and things are printing properly and not having any issues. I must have done, maybe at this point, 2 prints a week minimum. What I normally do is I have a day where I will print all day and just continually print that day. So, yeah, this is where we're at. It's going really good. I don't really know what else to really talk to you about. Like, it's actually going okay. It took a while to get there, maybe, but we're at a good point. If there's anything you guys want to know and you want to ask me, please feel free. I will try and explain as much as I can. Maybe please don't ask me troubleshooting questions. I'm not the person to ask that to. Because I maybe don't know. But like if you have like general questions about maybe going into it, like I don't know how I can help, but I'll try. I'll try help. Leave me questions. I will give it a good go. My new goal as well is to try and make my posting videos more consistent. As I do want to try and do YouTube. This was my intention. I just got very carried away with my Instagram account, I guess. I put all my focus into one social media, I noticed. In my defense for not filming so much, I did go on holiday for 2 weeks. Sorry, I wasn't in the country, and I have also just got a promotion with my day job, so that's nice. So it's just there's just been a lot of life going on, and I've just got swept up in doing other things that weren't YouTube. And I produce minis on a ridiculous scale at the moment where I paint like one a day, like a full mini a day. Point where I need to slow down. And maybe focus a bit more on some other things so I don't burn out. As always, thank you so much for consuming any of my content, really. Watching this video, it means a lot to me. I never thought I would be in this position. I know I spoke about this in my last YouTube video, but I only started really posting minis the beginning of this year. And I'm about to hit 40,000 followers on Instagram. We're not far off, and that's insane to me. That's just a crazy number. It's overwhelming. So again, thank you for like consuming any of my content. Thank you for watching this. I have to do the little speech of please like, subscribe, comment, share, hit the buttons that need hitting. It really does help. I'm gonna try and film hilariously another video after this one. So there should be another video. Today we are going to girly pop some Gundam. Not long after this one comes out. Thank you so much. I hope you have a beautiful day, whatever time it is you're watching this. Thanks.